Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr. This is episode 421 of CryptoBiography, and I'm calling it Stuck. And here we go. So this is not a story, this is just me telling what's going on in this case. So I did wrap up the story the other week, and so that was the herd in the army. And it did some things that I was wanting to do, and I'm reasonably happy with it, like I said at the end of that episode. But I'm not completely happy with it either. And one of the things that ended up happening was, because I finished that story, I really didn't know what I was going to write next. And so I've spent this week trying and just failing. I've tried several, I sort of semi-started 3 different stories, and all of them either weren't satisfying or too similar to other things that I'd already done. So I'm not sure what I'm going to write next. So, yeah, there's been a lot of things going on in the world that I would like to sort of relate to in some way in my writing. But I'm not sure how to do that yet. So that is the long and the short of it. Basically, I need to find what I want to say and how I want to say it. Once that happens, I think I will be unstuck. I don't really believe in, what's it called? Writer's block. I think there are things that are easier to write, things that are harder to write, and things that are more fun to write and sort of flow, and maybe you're not flowing all the time, but I don't really believe in writer's block. But I do believe in what's happened in this case, which is just not finding the right idea for a story. And in this case, because it happened several times, I just sort of ran out of time in the week. It's now Sunday. I'm supposed to put out an episode. And I don't really believe in just putting it off because it would be embarrassing. I do find this embarrassing, really, because I intend on putting out an episode of writing every week. With life sometimes, getting in the way, if I'm away or whatever, I do other things, but I try not to, just throw out an episode just as a way, not to write. In this case, though, I did try to write, and it just wasn't happening, at least not in any usable form. If you're looking at the video version of this, you might notice I'm using earbuds now. I'm just trying this out. It's a little weird because it doesn't really give me the feedback that the headphones do. I don't actually hear it through my earbuds the way I do when I'm using the regular headphones. So I'm going to actually have to listen back to this just to see how it sounds and make sure that all the settings are right and so on. But anyway, so that is, I guess that's about all I really have to say. As I started several stories. None of them were satisfying. None of them got far enough. None of them were usable. And I'm going to just have to keep trying. So hope to see you again next week, and that's it. So if you have any comments or questions about this episode or previous episodes, cryptobiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Blue Sky. And thanks for listening. Words and music, copyright 2025, Brandon Starr, all rights reserved. Characters and events, when they exist, are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.